Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Rappaport, we don't know if Ja'Marr Chase reports to Bengals mandatory minicamp. The Cincinnati Bengals opened their mandatory minicamp today, at which they ought to have full attendance. Attendance is mandatory, after all. But ought and will are not always synonymous, and in this case, are almost surely not. For one thing, W.R.T. Higgins almost undoubtedly won't be there since he doesn't even have a signed contract. But W.R. Ja'Marr Chase does, and it's not at all clear that he plans to show up. Higgins is entering his 5th season after completing his rookie contract. Rather than sign him to an extension, as he wanted, the Bengals placed the franchise tag on him. In turn, Higgins requested a trade and has stayed away from the team since. Chase has also been away from the team until yesterday. According to Ian Rappaport, Chase did show up for the Bengals media day. That basically involved their taking pictures and videos and recording promos for use during the season. But Chase showing up for that doesn't mean he plans to take the field. I don't know if Higgins also showed up for media day, but Rappaport made no mention of him. Ja'Marr Chase was at least in the building today, Rappaport said. The mandatory minicamp is not today, but that is, in fact, numero uno taking part in the media portion of the Bengals' availability, he said on the NFL Network yesterday. He was there for that. We do not know, though, whether he is going to be actually there for mandatory minicamp. Again, no mention of T. Higgins also attending media day. As he mentioned in the report, Higgins failing to report to mandatory minicamp would not be a holdout because he is not under contract. He has not signed his franchise tag deal and thus has no obligations to the team at this time. Chase failing to report to mandatory minicamp would be a bigger deal. The team can opt to fine him, though teams often waive such fines. The Bengals' passing game suffered with QB Joe Burrow's health in flux last season. Higgins, who also missed 5 games, only caught 42 passes for 656 yards and 5 touchdowns, for example. Through his first 3 seasons, the former second-round pick caught 215 passes for 3,028 yards and 19 touchdowns. As for Ja'Marr Chase, he still managed to produce last year even without Burrow for much of the year. In 16 games, he caught 100 passes for 1,216 yards and 7 touchdowns. One could argue that the situation forced Chase to prove that he can win in different ways. A former top 5 draft pick, Chase is universally regarded as one of the best receivers in the game. He is likely shooting for the ballpark of college teammate Justin Jefferson's recent record-setting deal of $35 million per year. If the Bengals are prepared to pay anywhere near that, then it's safe to say they're not re-signing Higgins, too. But they are trying to win a Super Bowl, so they will not rescind his franchise tag. First call, Rich Eisen leads national cheers for Mike Tomlin's extension. Browns' Nick Chubb may return for Steelers games. In Tuesday's first call, Mike Tomlin's contract extension with the Pittsburgh Steelers is getting a predictable amount of praise from national media circles. An injured Cleveland Browns star may make a return in time to face the Steelers just before Thanksgiving. An ex-Penguin is lighting up the Stanley Cup final. We also preview the Pirates-Cardinals series with Paul Skeens on the mound in Game 1. As expected, the NFL's national football media types are trumpeting their support of the Steelers' decision to extend the contract of head coach Mike Tomlin through 2027. That's despite a failure to win a playoff game in the past 7 seasons and in 11 of the past 13. Silly little facts like those won't stop the likes of the NFL Network's Rich Eisen from basking in the glow of the Steelers extending Tomlin's 7-year run of mediocrity, though. If Mike Tomlin didn't get this 3-year contract extension, he would be somebody else's coach within 5 minutes, Eisen said on his Roku channel show Monday afternoon. I'm telling you. He is one of the best in the business. Eisen wasn't done pumping the well of pro-Tomlin excuse-making tropes. Who would you prefer to have? Eisen continued. You want to go get that hot coordinator? Is that what you want to do? Or, Bill Belichick? Do you think Belichick and the Steelers, that's a marriage? Eisen sure was playing the hits. He immediately recycled two of the three big ones. Like playing Stairway to Heaven and Free Bird back to back, if you let Tomlin walk, who else are you going to hire? Completely ignoring the fact that Tomlin, Bill Cowher and Chuck Noll were all previously little-known assistants getting their first head coaching jobs with the Steelers. If you don't extend Tomlin, he'll get another job in 5 minutes. Which, of course, doesn't mean that he is still the right coach here. All Eisen needed to complete the national media Mike Tomlin Defense Foundation natural hat trick was the fill-in-the-blank bad team, Panthers, Jets, Commanders, Raiders, etc., would kill to have a coach like Tomlin. Right. Because a team that has the phrase "the standard is the standard" literally bolted into the wall of its building wants that standard to be the New York Jets? In a way, I'm disappointed a Tomlin sycophant like Eisen couldn't cram all three into one monologue. That's okay. I'm sure Mike Greenberg will get it done Tuesday on ESPN's Get Up. Lord knows he'll make the Jets reference, at least. CeeDee Lamb's trade proposal would be good for Steelers. Dallas Cowboys superstar wide receiver CeeDee Lamb is holding out on Cowboys minicamp as he awaits a new contract. Lamb's impending contract will certainly place him in the pantheon of highest-paid non-quarterbacks in NFL history, especially after Minnesota Vikings receiver Justin Jefferson broke the bank. Dallas may not be willing to shell out that much money for Lamb, who is a 3-time Pro Bowler and 2-time All-Pro. The 25-year-old also led the NFL in receptions last season. Therefore, rumors of a potential Lamb trade began to spread. Bleacher Report outlined 4 trade packages the Cowboys couldn't deny in exchange for Lamb. One of these proposals included Steelers. The proposal? The Steelers would send their 2024 second-round pick and a first-round pick. But the worst part for the Steelers? The largest transaction is not even part of this package. Once Steelers hypothetically acquires Lamb, they will have to hand him an exorbitant contract. The wide receiver market also exploded this offseason. The Steelers still have the most space in the league and could, hypothetically, achieve this without major changes to the subsequent squad. Even so, the regime has not shown much desire to distribute large payments, to date, and appears committed to drawing up a project and developing a philosophy. The Steelers' front office may be more willing to part with a 2026 first-round pick than a 2025 first-round pick. The Steelers' over-under win total is set at 4.5 on FanDuel. They could very well be looking at another top 10 or even top 5 pick again in the 2025 NFL Draft, but would Dallas stand firm in demanding the 2025 selection? To acquire Lamb, it could all come down to trading a top 5 pick and New England's latest second-round pick. Oh, and the Steelers need to make Lamb one of the highest-paid non-quarterbacks in NFL history. The Steelers is interested in hiring CeeDee Lamb if he became a free agent. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of CeeDee Lamb? Leave your opinion in the comments.